Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. This is Marjorie. Today I've got two patriotic decor for you. This one is a patriotic twig wreath. Now I got the, sorry, it's a twig swag. I got the swag, this beautiful thing from Craft Outlet, and it was new. I thought I'd find something I could do with it. The big bouquet of red, white, and blue flowers, I got those from Walmart. And all I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use one of these bushels because there was a lot to them. I trimmed off all of the stems and just basically gonna put together a little bundle. So once I've got the bundle pretty much where I want it, I am going to take a zip tie and I'm just going to tie those ends together. And then with the other remaining bushes, florals, I'm going to make another one. But here I'm just making sure that I get everything where I actually want it to be and before I attach it to the swag. So I use that part where it kind of loops over, and I just use that as my place where I'm going to attach it. Now I'm just taking a longer zip tie. I got these from, I think it was Amazon. And here, y'all, I thought I was getting a good deal because it was pretty inexpensive, but those zip ties are just no. So I had these other larger zip ties from the Dollar Tree, and I just go and use those. And as you can see, I still have to do a lot of maneuvering with the florals when at multiple times during this whole process, just because they kept moving around. But I mean, it's to be expected. And here I did the other bushel, but I did that off camera. And so I'm going to place it at the opposite end facing downward. And that way I will have a bow that I will make, and I will place it in between the two floral bunches. Alright, so I've got a different variety of ribbon here. I've got this 2.5-inch blue bandana type ribbon, and I thought that would be cute just to have a little bit of difference for the red, white, and blue bow that I'm gonna make. And I just do 8-inch tails to begin with, and I do 5.5-inch loops to start off. So then I have this kind of window pane. It's a 2.5-inch window pane ribbon. I don't dovetail or cut it. I just trim it at the end, and I again make the loops about 5.5-inch, and the tails are at 8 inches. And then I have this 1.5-inch, it's kind of like a rustic to me, ribbon, and it was from Craft Outlet. Actually, all the ribbon was from Craft Outlet. And I just add in an extra loop there to make the center loop, and then I trim the ends at an angle. Then I pull off the bow and make sure I'm holding it tightly, and I just use a pipe cleaner and I tighten it down really well, and make sure I fluff out my loops and my tails. And then I'll just attach it to the swag. Now this was a pretty quick creation here, and I like how it turned out. It was something different, and so I enjoyed making this one. I hope you guys like it. You'll let me know in the comments what you think. For my next patriotic decor, we're going to be doing a pancake wreath, and here I got this little sign, and I'm going to be taking some pipe cleaners and just stapling those pipe cleaners on there so I can use it to attach to my wreath. I just give it a couple of good staples and just kind of twist it on there. If you want, you can add maybe a little bit of hot glue, just maybe for a little bit more security. I find that I don't really have to, but just a suggestion if that's something that you might think you would do. Sorry, you guys probably hear my dog in the background, and maybe my grandkids, I don't know. So once I have this beautiful sign done, then I'll just put it aside. Now I've got this 14-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take 12 pipe cleaners, because that's what it takes for a pancake wreath, and I'm showing you this is a crossbar. So I'm going to start with a pipe cleaner up at the top 2 rings of the crossbar, and I'm going to do that to every crossbar. So there's 6 crossbars, and so there's going to be 6 pipe cleaners there. And so I split this up a little bit too, because it doesn't really matter, but in between, on the 2 lower rings, in between each of the crossbars, I added another pipe cleaners to make a total of 12. So this is just my ribbon measuring tool, and I'm measuring out 13-inch tails, I believe, for the wreath, and I'm just measuring out 12 tails, 1 for each of the pipe cleaners. It's a pretty handy tool. This it measures a variety from, it goes all the way up to 20 inches, so it's a pretty nice tool. I think this was made by Unique in the Creek. Very easy and makes it a lot faster to cut ribbon tails. And then here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my ribbon tails at an angle, because they're 1.5-inch ribbons, and that's what I do with my 1.5-inch ribbon. If you want, you can cut yours in a dovetail, completely up to you. Here's my little makeshift tabletop trash can. I do this because I don't like the little wires getting all over the table, because it can actually get stuck in your skin if you're not careful, and it kind of hurts. So I didn't show me cutting the 2.5-inch ribbon, but I do cut 12 of those as well, and dovetail the ends on that. And so here I'm just making my little sets of ribbon tails, and I like to put the 1 inch on top, the 1.5 inch on top, and then I just fold them in half. That way, when it's time for me to go ahead and add them to the wreath, it just makes it a lot easier. So I cut these in 20-inch strips, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways. So I'm really just going to do a ruffle method on this, and this first one, I'm showing that you can actually fold over both ends if you want. And then I'll show you the next one is where I don't fold over the ends. If you have good mesh that doesn't fray that much out, you don't have to fold it over. That's just my thing. But yeah, because you're going to be overlapping them like this. You're going to be overlapping the deco mesh and kind of make it into a cute little circle. And so here I am. I did fold it over, but then I took it off because I was like, oh, I'll just show them what it's like. So I actually don't fold mine over, not on this. So once I have that first bottom layer all attached, I take my ribbon tails and I go to attach them. So I unfold them, then I crisscross them at a little bit of an angle, and then I pinch up the middle. I fold over the ends of my ribbon. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can have them going sticking straight out if you like, but I like the little curve in my ribbon. Then I just place it right on top, and then I trim my excess pipe cleaner off and kind of tuck that back into the middle. Then I just go ahead and I add all the ribbon tails to each of the 6 pipe cleaners at the bottom. I'm just showing you one more time in slow-mo. Not slow-mo, it's just regular speed of how to put the tails in. So the exact same method that I did on the lower 6 pipe cleaners is exactly what I'm going to do to those inner 6 pipe cleaners that are on the crossbars. And with everything just laying pretty flat, it makes it not as thick, and it's great for screen doors. Like if you want to do if you don't want to put it on your outer door and you have like a screen door, you can put it in between. It's really nice and keeps bugs and stuff away from it. Normally when I make a full wreath, it's about 6 inches in depth between all the mesh and ribbon and bows and stuff like that. So this makes for a really nice thin wreath. And even if you're just not into the big puffy wreath, then this would be good for you. So I put the sign on, and then what I do is I'm just going to make a little bow, and the same method that I did on the Patriotic twig swag. So I'll let you watch. So I made sure to not put too big of a bow on there. But this is how it turned out. I enjoyed making both of these for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and comment on the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like for me to make for you. And you guys have a very blessed week.